What is going on, everyone? Ray here from the third floor, and today we're going over our top 5 reasons why you should be playing Wyrd Miniatures The Other Side. This is your Friday 5-minute flash. Number 5, we're talking a war scale game on a skirmish scale level. Sounds crazy, I know, but Wyrd somehow pulled off the concept of fielding a bunch of titanic monsters and multiple squads into still only moving about 10 to 12 bases overall. And they've done so with this really unique concept called plug bases, where you have these larger bases that the various models of each unit basically slide into or plug into. So what it allows you to do is you field one squad of 3 fire teams, is what they call, and you have 9 models on the table, but you're only moving 3 bases at a time. So it gives this very war scale kind of theme, but keeping it into a skirmish bite-sized kind of game. Number 4, going back to those plug bases, we're talking about wound counts now. This game is extremely thematic with currently 4 factions released that are all very different from each other. But the cool thing about this overall is that you're getting a variety of models for each of these factions that are effectively counting as wounds. Because what happens with these plug bases that we just talked about is anytime a unit would take damage, you remove a model from them. And then when all 3 models or all 5 models have been removed from those bases, whatever the count may be, that big base goes away now and that fire team has been defeated. But there's still ways to get those fire teams back. So what's very cool about this game, it's very much a war of attrition that's got a really neat hit point system. Number 3. We've already mentioned that we have 4 different factions in this game, or allegiances as they're called by the other side. But what's really great about this is that they come out of the box ready to play. The game is based on a series of commanders, and for every commander you bring, you have a certain number of points that you're able to hire. The allegiance boxes for each of the 4 factions come with a single commander and enough models, units, or otherwise to be able to get to the full point cost so that you can pull them right out of the box, put them on the table, and get ready to play. How fast are we talking? The models are already even pre-assembled. So if you're not worried about having paint on them, you can literally buy this box off of the shelf, open it up, pull out the rules, which are free and available on Wyrd's website, and go right at it. Coming in at number 2 is the concept of command points and the stratagem deck. So one of the neat things about the commanders is that not only do they provide you with the hiring pool limit that is going to be how you construct your army basically, but they also generate a certain number of command points every turn that you then use to buy resources. One of those resources is cards in your hand. This game does the same thing that Wyrd's other property, Malifaux, does, and it uses a fate deck to determine who's going to win what duels. But unlike Malifaux, where you get to draw cards every turn, you have to buy those resources in the other side. And that's really cool thematically speaking, because the reason is that soul stones aren't as prevalent on the earth, which is where the other side takes place. So you're not having that sheer amount of power to manipulate fate that people in Malifaux might have had. Not only that, you get to use those command points to buy stratagems. Stratagems are a deck of 6 cards that you construct prior to playing the game when you're setting up your crew. You then have access to those stratagems by spending command points at the start of each turn. You then reveal that to your opponent, and now they know you've got this neat tactical ability that you can play during any of your activations or at the start of any of your activations. This adds an amazing amount of tactical depth to an already deep game. And the number 1 reason that you really should be playing this game is honestly the streamlined mechanics. Every condition in the game cancels itself with its opposing condition. If you have reinforcement tokens, which lets you get guys back, those are canceled by pin tokens, which keep your guys from moving too far. If you have the negative condition token that puts you on inaccuracy, I believe it's called shaken, then that cancels out with the focused effort token that you can get. So You don't have a lot of bookkeeping here. The biggest amount you're going to have is basically the command points that you're generating, which is not a tremendous amount. You don't have a huge hand size. The rules for cover, terrain, etc. are very streamlined, and the game just plays smooth. Everything you do feels basically right, and that's very rare to find in a game these days. So if you're looking for a very streamlined set of rules that feel good while you're playing them, then the other side's the game for you. All right, those were your top 5 reasons why you should be playing Wyrd Miniatures the other side, and this was your Friday 5-Minute Flash.